Howdy folks, Artful Dodger back here. Just did the analysis on the concept art from the E3 conference. Gonna try and move along quicker. These files are just ridiculously big, so I'm gonna pick apart the next scene here from the conference, and hopefully I can remember everything. Okay, this is when the guy comes out. I don't think there's anything to really notice in here up until you get to about here. There's something I wanted to comment on here. A lot of people seem to be confused about what Todd Howard was saying when, even before this game was released. I think a long time ago, I saw some interview. He was talking about them not being any loading screens, and some people have touched on this and said they weren't sure. There's plenty of examples in this E3 conference to show you exactly what they're talking about. And it just goes along with what he was saying, how there won't be any loading screens. Everything's wide open. People talked about all the indoor maps and everything before there were no windows. You go into the casinos, there's no windows, even though they're hotel rooms. Well, this is all open, so no more of the loading screen issue. None of that. You can see right here plainly.
You can play it in
the robot goes right in the building. It's all wide open. You can look right out into the world, and you see right out the windows. It'll show more of this later, but
whenever you want.
I mean, that's definitive right there. Okay, so look at that. It's all wide open. And no more generic rubble or any of that. Everything is detailed.
You're all by yourself.
They kind of talked a little bit about some of the bad guys come out of the ground. I think that's pretty cool for dynamic spawn points. I hope that this game is a little bit better than the previous games about the dynamic spawning of enemies, because I don't know, it just didn't seem like they put a lot of thought into that before. And again, as you can see right here, this is your garage. There's your power armor set up there. It just doesn't have any armor because this is the beginning of the game probably. But I believe this is your garage. There's your little workbench. There's your power armor station. There's no door. You don't have to load a screen. You just walk into the garage and you're there. And it's just all one big open world. And this is what I think everyone's been waiting for. This is going to completely change and completely, 100% improve these Bethesda experience. No more loading screens. I mean, that's huge. Oh, the criticals. I'll get to that in a minute. People have been kind of guessing on that. I think I know exactly how that works. It does charge up the way people have been saying, but it's all attributed to your luck skill. And I'll show that in a minute. Let's see if there's anything else right here. The weather systems, of course, people talked about that. See those bushes moving? I know right here, they were looking at this guy last time, but look at this guy. You saw some of this in the concept art. This crazy makeshift armor. This is one of those ones with all the metal brackets and spikes coming out of it. And I always want to stop this. If you played Fallout 3, that's kind of generic in there, generic rubble or whatever. But out in here, I mean, look at this. This is all very detailed objects. Not just that generic rubble. I really like that. Like I said in the last one, they've done a lot to get rid of repetition, and it seems like they want to at least try and make everything very unique. And look at all this wonderful color. So, have a nuke. That guy had some of that armor on too. I really think that that's some kind of modifiable armor. What else did I want to touch on here? Oh, we get into the Pip-Boy up here. I wanted to point something out here. Gotta be really quick. Right there. Okay. Well, first of all, there was a sign over here that said, "Please buckle up," or something. This looks like a lift. Okay, so people were wondering about the door and how the guy came out the top of the door, and that was the first one they've ever seen like that, and usually it's a horizontal entrance. This right here looks like the door to a horizontal entrance, so I'm not exactly sure how this is designed, but it looks like he's on a lift, so he's coming up from being underneath the ground. It looks like he's at the top, I would think, at this point. He found this Pip-Boy on that dead doctor there, which actually kind of gives you some insight, because everyone's wondering why he's the lone survivor, what happened, you know, he's cryogenically frozen. Well, this is proof right here that when he woke up, there is a old, just nothing but a skeleton left of a body of one of the previous inhabitants. So that might be a clue to the story. You know, maybe it's like that Idiocracy movie, where everyone else got unfrozen on time, you know, a long time ago, and for some reason his capsule got lost or something. So I think that's a pretty big clue into the storyline. So again, here you can see the door. I'll go ahead and play this again, and you'll get another little bit of a look at that door again here in a minute, but that's obviously
now you do
a door.
spend a lot of
Oh shoot.
This is
I gotta
great.
get back
Look
all the
at
way
this.
back over there now.
You all came. This is amazing. I need to let me take this in. Holy.
I'm sorry about that. Okay.
Now you do spend.
Stop. Let me get back to that status. Okay. You'll see later that when he demonstrates the second screen iPhone Pip-Boy thing, people were commenting that there was a little sub menu down, or a few buttons, stim pack right away, and an effect button. I think the reason why you don't see that here is because this is still in the beginning part of the game before you leave the vault, and sometimes your interface is a little bit different. That's happened before. I think that's what it is. I'm really surprised that a lot of people haven't figured this out yet on some of this stuff. The way this damage and stuff is, I'll go ahead and touch on that. You got 3 types of resistances to your armor. You've got the physical, which is what type of damage this gun does. That's what that little crosshair means. You got your energy and radiation. So it's like 3 different types of damage. People are familiar with that in other games. So your armor gives resistance, or your vault suit, I guess, gives resistance a little bit to energy and a little bit more than that to radiation damage, but no resistance to physical damage, and this gun delivers physical damage. So that's what that means. Let me go ahead and keep playing here. I'll touch on some other stuff. Okay, you can see better what the special does in this part. I think everyone's on the same page now that they're not going to have skill points. From what I can tell, there's going to be a pretty comprehensive perk ranking system, which I'll get into that in just a little bit. But no skill points, and the special's a little different too. I don't think it's quite as significant. Since this used to affect your skill points, now there aren't any. So they have a completely different perk system implemented, so that's still a lot to be revealed in that area. This affects physical power, how much you can carry, that's all the same, and damage of all melee attacks. That's it. And we'll go on to the next one. Perception, is your awareness. I'm not sure what the addition of this sixth sense means. That detects your enemies and affects your accuracy and VATS. Okay. And that's it. You know, before that used to affect your, you know, different weapon skills and things like that. So that doesn't matter anymore. And it doesn't make any mention in here about your perks. Now, just like before, I'm sure there's probably requirements. You know, your perception has to be a certain number to get this perk, whatever. So that's probably how that's going to play into that.
Time in our games looking at your stats,
Your
items, and
endurance.
more.
Oh, they're moving along too quick for me here. Go back one. Okay, measure of overall physical fitness. That's pretty vague. Health points and action point drain from sprinting. That's kind of been covered in another video, so I'm not going to go on that. Charisma. You don't have skills again anymore, so all your speech is just going to be based on charisma. You know, your dialogue options and your bartering.
Your items and more.
Intelligence no longer affects your skill points. I think this has been talked about already. So that's, you know, translate into experience points now, which I guess this is your experience down here at the bottom. And go to the next one. Agility, overall fitness and finesse and reflexes. If I remember right, well, at least that finesse perk affected your. That was your chances for criticals. I don't think that affects this. That's tied to luck. We'll see that in a minute. Action points, of course, and sneaking. Ability to sneak. Now, I saw that there's a science ranking. Maybe there's a sneak ranking. It's a little confusing. I'll show you some examples of that here soon.
So we put a.
And then luck is affects the recharge rate of critical hits. So, you know, right here it tells you that, you know, there's some kind of recharging going on to that critical hit bar. And of course your chances of finding good loot.
A lot of emphasis on making.
Okay, right there you can see that door again. That is obviously a vault door mounted horizontally. So maybe there's two doors.
Just entertaining, but also making it come alive on the screen.
Okay, weapons. Here's your ammo listed here. This is your type of damage, physical damage. Got your fire rate, 46. I'm not sure what that means exactly. That can't be per second. Per minute maybe. Yeah, this pipe revolver is super slow. I'll get to that. Fire rate here is 46 on the 10mm pistol. Range is 83. I'm not sure if that's feet or meters. Accuracy 60. So there's some kind of accuracy. I don't know if that's you know, they got the they fixed their crosshair, so it's more like a first-person shooter now. So maybe that's like the spread. Now check out this next homemade gun here. This pipe revolver. That definitely looks homemade. Does some pretty good damage. It almost looks like a long-range rifle. Well, it is a long-range rifle. You see here, range 191. I guess that's feet. And this says pipe revolver. So that must be some kind of like, what does that say? Oh yeah, it shoots 45. Okay, so that's almost like a 45 caliber carbine. So that shoots a handgun round, which does, I know this in real life, has a good range of about 150 to 200 feet. So that's actually pretty realistic. That's very realistic. That's pretty cool. And they are accurate too. I used to own one kind of like this, a carbine, a handgun, and so that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's how that works.
Your various items.
And your typical grenades haven't changed. Here's your layered armor. You can see right here, you know, like we said earlier, there's the default whatever resistance of your Vault 111 suit. He's got this in his inventory, but it's not equipped. And it looks like he has one piece each of the different leather pieces. And you can see over here what they provide. So, you know, this one piece will add 1 to physical damage resistance and 3 to that's what the physical damage looks like, little shield, and 3 to the energy resistance. And they probably all each are like that, and then they'll total up, I would imagine, and then be reflected down here in your total defensive threshold or whatever.
You have a layered armor system now. There
there's your
holotapes
there's your
you can listen to,
log
and some
tapes.
of these are even game
There's that
tapes.
door again. I think that's about it for this part. Then we'll get over to here.
We use on the Pip-Boy running on the app. Works on any platform.
There you
on
can
your
see.
local Wi-Fi.
Let's see here. Oh gosh, these guys are too quick for me. Okay, here's your level. So as you can see, this guy's a level 24. And that's why I was thinking that it didn't have those buttons down there like this one does. Also on this one, if you see in his inventory, he's got that drop, favorite, and sort. That is also not in the other one. I don't have an explanation for that. Maybe they just added it. Maybe it doesn't pop up until you leave the vault. I'm not sure.
For PC.
They didn't have this either. Drop, cycle damage, favorite, and sort. So they've added some pretty cool features here that make it easier to cycle through the items in your Pip-Boy. And there again, you can see the stim pack right away, show effects. That guy's a level 48, that's a different one. And you can see the total, let me back this up just a hair. Right here, I think this reflects. Oh, this must be your limbs. That's what this is. This is your limb condition, like your health condition. Here's your total armor. So it doesn't show his armor in here, but all his armor pieces and suit and everything add up to a total of 110 physical resistance, 126 energy resistance, and 35 radiation resistance. And then his gun does 21 physical damage. So, alright, we'll get past that. And then he talks about Fallout Shelter.
If you don't get the Pip-Boy edition, it'll obviously still
then
work on your smartphone or tablet the old-fashioned way.
Okay, it's still Fallout Shelter. Oh, come on.
That raises their
Okay, then he talks about building. This is the part that I wanted to show. Oh crap, I gotta rewind this.
And it works like this. You can scratch world to do all of that in.
He also says,
so like many things, we have
people were wondering how many places you could build. He, quote, says there are many large places that you can build. And for Todd Howard to use the word many, I'm going to have to say that's at least a minimum, bare bones minimum of 5, maybe more like in the 8 to 10 range. I'm just guessing, but that's what he said. He said there are many large places where you can build. So,
and here's how it works in the game.
That being said,
your character
we'll get over here.
Playing to rebuild.
Okay. This thing is too quick. You need perks to build some of these things. And
while playing,
let's see if I can stop it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Like, I'm not sure what he's on right now, but you'll see this again in a second. To build that little trading outpost out front, you need like a rank 3 local leader. So this is some kind of perk, I would imagine, dealing with like, charisma, barter, speech type thing. But you gotta unlock these things to build things, like modify weapons and stuff like that.
And it works like this. You can scrap items in the world for materials and then use those materials.
And then of course when you're building, it's got the requirements over here and the totals that you can build: steel, wood, screws, for the different objects. Oh, okay, you didn't build the bit. Okay, right here. Every time it seems like where building something requires a specific rank of a perk, you'll see this down here. And I think when you click on it, it'll show you what you need, and you'll see that here in a second. So I think this tells us that it requires a ranking of one of the perks in order to build this bed. To find out what that is, you gotta click on it.
Like the rest of the game,
So you'll see these other ones don't have that. There's nothing under there for requirements. So
making it your own experience. We want you to build and decorate and make yourself really a
and here you got your bobbleheads.
place you want to live in. A new home for yourself and your best friend, of course.
Okay. Yeah, you see here he's building this trader store. There's different types of stores you can set up. And you need rank 3 local leader. So, and 300 bottle caps, wood, steel. But you need this ranking of this perk to be able to do this.
As your settlement grows, people will arrive, including certain traders. They have some of the best items in the game.
Okay, same here. This again requires some kind of a perk ranking, and I guess it produces food. I don't know what that means. Oh, that must be the kind of plant it is or something. Oh, tomato. Huh. Tato. I guess that's a Fallout tomato.
These people you will need to, you can plant food, water.
Okay, so you can put water in without a ranking.
Power generators.
Okay.
All right, so
See, that tells you what it produces. Don't need a ranking.
Switches that require power,
but you will here in a
lights and
second.
other items, and then you run wires that connect them all, and again, it just works. You can also build your own terminals that hook to this power grid.
Right there. Okay. To build this terminal he's talking about, you have to have that first hacker ranking. Most Fallout players are familiar with this perk. I think they've had that before. And you need rank 1 of that in order to build this terminal. Oh, and it's not listed under there. Maybe it's different with these. I don't know, but it obviously tells you that you need that for that.
And then you can control the various things and tweak them that the power lines are connected to.
Okay, and same thing with the turrets. Laser turret, require rank 1 science. Produces 8 defense, I guess. I'm not sure. Maybe that affects your total defensive ranking for your settlement or something. Look at all the stuff you need to build it, though. You need crystal, aluminum, circuitry, one screw, fiber optics, gear, whatever that is, and nuclear material to build that. So I don't know where you find all that stuff.
This includes things like turrets.
Oh, I like this. Oh, where is it? Oh, it's not on this one. There's one that said Universal Electric. I thought that was great. Like General Electric. Okay, so building a guard tower. Again, it requires some kind of perk ranking to build this.
Because you do want to build defenses.
Okay, and machine gun turret requires rank 1 gun nut, and obviously you can tell they got some kind of a cheat code in here because he doesn't even have enough materials to build this, but he's got 999 capacity, so I guess they got some kind of a cheat code running for their little demonstration. But you need circuitry gear, aluminum, and oil for that. That makes sense. So you need that gun nut perk to build that.
Because your settlements can and will get attacked by raiders.
There's that mortar. Let me see if there was anything else. Oh, I think this is where he says it.
So it's fun to build up something yourself in the game that usually you'll find that we have built for you. And there are many large sites in the game world where we allow you to build, and you can.
Okay, he just said it. There are many large sites in the game world where we allow you to build. So I think that pretty much sums it up.
You can even run Brahmin caravans between your settlements. Keep in mind, like most things we do, this is an optional part of the game that you can do if you want to. It's just one part of a huge game, but it's really, really great for Fallout. We just absolutely love this feature.
And we don't have this part. I think that's all I have. Oh, well, we get in here
Items
into
that
the
you can interact
modifications.
with, and now all of them have purpose.
Now these
And
run
here's what
by
it looks like
quick.
in the
I don't know
game.
if I can stop it in time.
We do have over 50 base weapons and over 700 modifications.
Okay, you see, to build this improved short barrel, you need the science rank 1, and you need all this stuff. This doesn't look like it's going to be quite as easy as they make it look, but we'll
For
see when
those
the game
weapons.
comes out.
So you could take a basic,
See, science again.
you know, the laser pistol from Fallout, is one of the base weapons, and then modify that and turn it into something completely new.
Oh, there's science again. I know there's some other ones in there. There's science. Different rankings of science too, 1 and 2. I see in there. Oh, there's a gun nut, so 1 and 2 gun nut. See, the rank 3 gun nut, rank 4 gun nut. So you definitely, there's definitely a perk ranking system that's taking the place of the skills.
And you can even modify...
And same thing on the armor. You know, I don't understand why people can't figure this out. I think it's pretty obvious what's going on over here. You know, this is going to give you your totals for your armor or your different pieces. So that's what that is.
Your own power armor.
See what else I want to pick apart here. That'll be it for now. I might make another video. I'm gonna have to watch the
We've
rest of
spent
this
a
and
lot
see.
of time on all the...
It's Artful Dodger. Hope you all learned something, and thanks for watching. See you later.